Hi everyone, it's Angel. How are you? I am the host of my show, for those of you who don't know me, and this is a live split screen show where you can be a guest on my show. Now, there are a few things that we have to do just to clean up a little bit. Number one, make sure all of your background apps are turned off if you want to be a guest on my show, which I would love to have because that's how we do our free live readings. If you have a question and you don't get to be on the actual show itself as a guest, you can always leave your comment. Hi, Rob. Hi, Donna. How are you? Oh my God, it's been so long. If you want, you can also, like I said, comment, and it's a way of me being able to read you that way as well. But if you want to be a guest on the show, I will be leaving the link for the show in the comment section a little bit later on. And we're going to have a really good time. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be talking about your energetic daily lifestyle. Now, last week we did a really great show on cleansing and clearing, and we had a really good time. We did on smudging and sage and crystals and all kinds of stuff. But it goes further than that. It's great to be able to cleanse and clear, but once you have all of the muck off, so to speak, what do you do then? What's the next step in our everyday life to be an energetic being to our best potential? It was so funny. Rob says, funny, as soon as I clicked on your name, I spelled burnt toast. Ha ha ha. That's probably the coffee that was being made in the background at my house. You're clairsentient, so you can smell the nice roasted coffee. Sue says, hi, Angel. Hi, Sue. How are you? So again, today what we're going to be talking about is the next step in your energetic lifestyle. So last week, we talked about cleansing and clearing and grounding and all those wonderful, wonderful things. We had such a great time doing it. And we had guests on as well. I will be leaving the link shortly. Again, if you want to be a guest on our show, make sure that all your background apps are off. And best way to do that is turn off your computer, turn it on. I can only take guests if you're on a laptop or desktop. And please know that as soon as you come into the studio, you do have to turn off your Facebook page so that you're here with me and we don't get an echo in the background. Okay, so let's start. Oh my goodness, we have all these people who are coming in now. Hi, Lisa, how are you? Now, it's a wonderful thing to be able to so effortlessly be able to cleanse and clear ourselves. But how do you stay clean from day to day? Well, it's not just about what you do with a smudge or a spray or a crystal. It's really, really about your lifestyle. And your lifestyle is from everything from what you wear in the morning to what you have around you when you first wake up, to the things that you eat, to the colors that feel right for you, whether it's on your body. As you can see, I am wearing a really nice royal purple today, and that's for a reason, to the color of your hair, to the color of your hair. And there is no mistake in what we do with our lives. I remember when I was first starting with feng shui and getting my licensing for feng shui, which was incredible. It was a wonderful experience to find an intuitive style of feng shui called the black sect or black hat sect. And that is a variation of the traditional feng shui. It's about using your intuitive abilities. It's not as methodical as a traditional style. And I love it because I can walk in and I can say to someone, you know what, this is your money corner. You don't necessarily need a three-legged frog with a coin, but you might want to get something that represents money for you. So that doesn't necessarily mean a statue. It could be the picture of a woman who's wearing a green and gold dress, something that's very medieval. It has to resonate with you. Live with what you love is the whole idea of that. And I truly believe that because everything is energetic. So When I went to my mother's house and I told her, I said, I'm working with feng shui, she went, oh, yeah, well, feng shui my house. I'm like, okay. So I looked around their house and I was ready to prove that I was, talented and a licensed feng shui practitioner now to my mom. And I looked around and I realized her house was perfectly in balance. It actually was beautifully feng shui. She had a red candle in the right sector. She had the colors that were necessary for her healing at the time. It was really beautiful. And it really occurred to me that when we're in the rhythm of who we are, what happens is we will naturally and intuitively feng shui our homes, find harmony in our surroundings. But the only way that can happen is if we are in balance in here. And I know that that sounds new agey, but it doesn't make it less true. The reality is our daily lifestyle creates a harmony inside, and that harmonic resonance will carry over into our everyday life. And this starts from the moment you awaken. This starts from before you open your eyes. When you are lying there, just coming out of your slumber, what we do in that moment is very important. What thoughts are we thinking? What energy are we putting into our day? So a lot of times we wake up and, oh my God, it's morning. I don't want to get up. Oh my God, what do I have to do today? And we already start to put that energy into our surroundings, literally. So what I tend to do is I do my affirmations in the mornings, and people have heard me say this on the show, and they've heard me blog about it, they've read about it. It's this whole idea that we talk about who we are and we program our day, we program our energy, because the universe takes that and says, okay, that's what you want for your day, that's what we'll give you, because our subconscious is wide open. So it's the easiest time to program or manifest for ourselves. So I am this and I am that, and I am having a great day today, and my day is easy and effortless. Today I feel fantastic. Today I am amazing. And there are going to be days when it feels like an outright lie. Because we're human and we have to live that human existence. But it is so important, especially in those moments, to do those I ams, because you may wake up feeling like that for whatever reason. The night before you might have, partied too hard or had an argument with your child or your spouse or whatever. So that morning after is really, really important. When you wake up, your eyes open and the conscious world takes over. What colors are you seeing? Right? What's the color of your wall? What is the first painting that you see? For me, when I wake up, the first thing that I see is my snake Severus. And he's very awake and he's very alive. And he's so beautiful to watch, but he is also the symbol of release. So as soon as I wake up, already I'm releasing the stuff that I don't need. I'm releasing my burdens, allowing room for new perspective. Above him, I have a beautiful painting of trees and a forest, and it's black and white, which I love. I find that very beautiful and very sexy and very alluring, and for me, very feminine. So for me, there's that womanhood, right? I have my jewelry box that sits there as well. And there are some wonderful pillows that sit up there. I specifically put the pillows that say, living with you is a loving part of my life, kind of thing. So I have all of these things as a first input, okay? And colors are important. So I have browns for grounding, the greens in Severus's tank, the trees in Severus's tank. All of these wonderful, beautiful things help to start my day. And then even before that, I roll over and I see my partner. And no matter what's going on in our lives, I always do gratitudes. So I do my I ams. I wake up, we cuddle, which is really nice. But the first thing I do is I see him and I do my gratitudes. No matter how I feel, no matter what's been going on, no matter what we're going through, whether it's with our son, whether it's with each other, it's always about those gratitudes in the morning. Then I open my eyes and then I see my surroundings. And I'm grateful for those too. Then I start to get up. So at that point, now I'm awake, now I'm alive, now I'm integrated back into this world. What do I do? Well, you do your morning routine and you have your day, and I like to start with my coffee and that kind of stuff. So these things are really, really, really important. What are the colors that you're seeing? What are the things that you are thinking or feeling when you wake up? Take stock of those things. Now, let's go into breakfast. The things we put in our bodies are just as important as the things we see outside of our bodies. Because when we put things in our bodies, we're asking our body in the morning to wake up, but we're also creating a vibration for ourselves. Okay, and that's really, really important. Hi, Francine. Hi, Carla. How are you? And putting things in our body is really, really important because it's the difference between feeling very, very heavy in a day, very, very light in a day. It's also how cleansed we feel. So a lot of people, like for me, people think I'm weird because I love having a hot glass of water in the morning. No lemon, no lime, no nothing, just a hot glass. In Japan and China, they like to put lemon in it because it cleanses the body. For me, the hot water also opens up the digestion, and it helps you to process. Once I've had my water, I usually feed the cats in the morning, and then a coffee is made either by myself, but mostly by Carl because we're here and he makes way wicked coffees. We call them Carl coffees, which are just amazing. So I will have my Carl coffee. Now, a lot of people say, well, you're an energy worker, right? You're an energy worker. So if you're an energy worker, how can you drink things like coffee? Because that's something that can bring you down or make you heavy. I don't really believe that. My only limitation for me is the one I place on myself. In Peru, cocoa beans and cocoa leaves are sacred, right? So it's not about justifying having a coffee. I love having my coffee, but it really resonates with me. There are mornings when I don't have a coffee. I'll have an avocado and some water, or I'll have, a bagel with peanut butter on it. Whatever the case might be, whatever I feel my body needs and what's resonating with me in that day is what I have. Because that is creating my vibration for the next step. But how do you know? What is it that helps you to know what to put in your body or what to put on your body? Well, it's about listening. It's about asking yourself truthfully, what do I feel like doing? There are going to be mornings when you're like, you know what, Timmy's, we're going to Timmy's. And that's okay because you're honoring yourself. And I'm not talking about overindulging. I'm talking about listening, really listening to your own spirit. So then the next part might be for you, if it wasn't already, because some people get dressed before they go downstairs. I usually just schlep around in my PJs. So you go upstairs, and what is it that you want to wear? What do you want to adorn yourself with? This is that moment of silence and truth that I take, and I kind of stand in front of my closet, and I feel it out. And it was so funny because I went to my closet today, and I, without even thinking, grabbed my purple top. And when I looked at it, I went, oh my God, how appropriate for the show that I'm doing today. It does feel a bit like a class, but for the show that I'm doing today, because it's all about how we feel in our daily lives. And this makes me feel not only intuitive because, the crown chakra is indigo and then the higher chakra is violet. These are considered very intuitive colors, but I also love this color of royal purple. My favorite colors are royal purple and royal green. Matt says, I have a coffee and a kitty here, and the Holy Spirit is filling me. Coffee rules. Yes, it does. And it does. And spirit will imbue you with each step you take in the morning, whatever spirit means to you. When you are living your truth, when you are living that feeling of, yes, this is my next step, then you can feel great creator all around you. You really can. And what's really interesting too is if you don't know what to do, ask. So you know what, guide me. What do I feel like doing today? What do you need me to do today? And I've done that before too. I'll be lying there going, oh, I don't want to do anything. What do you need me to do? And the next thing I know, I'm sitting up and I'm starting my day. So these are all the energetic things you can do to make yourself feel really good inside. That will reflect out here. And that's what you want. You want in here to reflect out here. This is one of the reasons I like space in my home. If you see my kitchen, it's nice and open. And you see my table, it's cleared off. I like that feeling of space. Do I have stuff? Absolutely, but my stuff is organized. And that's called for me organized chaos because I actually know where everything is, even though other people may not. So I'm going to now take our add guest. I'm going to take our link. I'm going to there. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to put this in our thingy thing today. Hold on a second, because now I have to. I forgot to do that today. I forgot to reboot my thingy thing, my Facebook. Okay, so that's rebooting for a second. So once that reboots and we're there, then I'm going to be able to add the link for you guys. Boy, that's taking a long time today. Oh, there we are. Here we are. Okay, so I'm adding that to the comments section now. And if anybody would like to be a guest, maybe even just to talk about energy work, you are more than welcome to click on that link, and that will bring you in my studio. Please remember that your apps behind you have to, or your apps in the background have to be off, and also to turn off your Facebook when you are in the Be Live studio with me. If you can, that would be fantastic. And we can do readings. I'll do readings for you today. And also, if you want to just chat with me, that would be fun and fantastic about energy. Now, the next thing I want to take a look at is how you work with your home and how you create that feeling of abundance for yourself. Okay, that feeling of abundance really comes from, like I said, within, but what you see as well and what you experience in life. So if you have a cat that you cuddle in the morning, that experience and that emotion stays with you as well. Now remember, all of these different things that you create in your home, you take out into the world. Yes? So two things are going to happen. When you leave your home, not only are you going to share that information of energy and how to live an energetic lifestyle on a positive level and bring other people's vibrations up, but guess what? Now you're going to attract those vibrations and higher vibrations. You're never going to go lower. You're always going to go higher than where you are. And what's really interesting is a lot of energy workers believe, and I'm one of them, that the higher your vibration, the less likely it is for lower vibrations to come near you. Now, that's not to say you should always be living in a high vibration, because that's just as imbalanced as living in a lower vibration. You won't always play that beautiful, beautiful tune. So if you're having a bad day, let yourself have a bad day. That is the highest vibration you can get to. That's fine. You might attract things that are like that, but remember, you're also attracting things that are a little bit higher. And understand too, when you're out there in your world, those experiences that you're experiencing can change your vibration. If you're having a bad day and all of a sudden you hear one of your favorite pieces of music, I was walking in the mall one day and all of a sudden I heard, what is it? Bad Day. You're having a bad day. I was listening to that. And then right after that, there was a song from my best friend's wedding, which is, again, one of my favorite soundtracks. So all of a sudden, my entire vibration started to shift. I started to feel better, and you could notice it. And I noticed people looking at me a little bit more. I noticed people smiling. I noticed I was encountering more people who were smiling with their children, etc., etc. So this affects everybody. What you do in the morning will affect you throughout your day. And what affects you throughout your day will affect others, and others will affect you, and you will start to garnish the things and bring to you like a magnet the things that you need. Does that sound like the law of attraction? Yeah, it does, because it really is. We are like magnets. This is what we are. We're a hive mentality, whether we realize it or not. We're all connected to each other. So whatever we give out is going to come back. So Marie-Claude, how are you? It is funny when you're talking about feng shui. My back hurts since I started working from home. Now I'm wondering if it is the location where I'm working. Yeah, and that's very possible too. So there are books out there that you can use. One is called The Feng Shui Doctor, which I really, really like. It's a very simple book. You can get it at Chapters. You can get it on Amazon. It's a really lovely book, very, very basic, and it will tell you about the different things in your home and how to set them up on a basic level. Now, very interesting story. My feng shui master told me she was actually working from home and she had a couch behind her and her back started hurting, just like Marie Claude was saying. And she said a friend of hers had come over who had been working with feng shui. And she goes, well, it's very obvious to me why that's happening. And my friend turned around and said, well, what is it? On her couch, a client had given her as a gift a set of knives. And the knives were actually pointed towards her desk, towards her. And over a period of time, this energetically will start to affect you. It's a dagger effect. Okay, now this is literal because they're knives, but that is what we call things like points. If you have a square point that is facing you in your chair, right? So let's say you have a desk and then you have a small table behind it and it's on an angle. Okay, and it's facing your back, that can affect you. So you want to make sure that whatever room you're working or whatever space you're working in is really conducive to you, especially if you're spending long periods of time there. So my office is an east-facing office. I'm a west-facing person. So when I'm in my office, I rarely use my desk, which faces the outside. However, Carl is east-facing person, so it's mostly his desk and mostly his office. However, the door faces west. So what I do is when I sit in the room, and I'm an earth person anyway, I love sitting on the floor. I do my work on the floor, right? And we have a little couch in there. So sometimes I'll sit on the couch, but I'm always facing west because that is my power direction. And you always want to be sitting in your power direction. And how do you find that power direction? There's a great, a wonderful, what do they call it, website, and I'm writing it down, redlotusletter.com, where you can find what's called your qua direction, or your favorable directions. You put in your birthday and you put in whether you're male or female or what have you, and then it tells you what your best directions are and what your direction is. And then you can base it on that. If you have an east facing and a west facing person in the same home, you want to base it on the directions of the door, ideally on the person who's making the most money, the breadwinner of the home. And then the inside, the internals are based on the other partner. So these are important things too. So color, direction, you can add all of these layers. Now, it doesn't mean you have to go crazy and go, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, is my house okay? Am I wearing the right color? It's all about feel. How do you feel in your home? When I was a little girl, we had a south-facing home, and for a west-facing person, it's really not a great idea. So I encountered a lot of turmoil in that house. I had another house where we actually changed and shifted the door. Literally, we took the door and moved it west-facing, and it completely changed my career. I had another house which was naturally west. That was spectacular. And then I had another home, yes, I've had many, where we had an east-facing door. We blocked that off, and we used the back door because that was west-facing. So that was more conducive to who I was as the breadwinner. So there are a lot of little different things that you can do that you can read up on the internet. Now, people. Every day we're encountering people. The friends you keep, the partner that you have, whether it's business or intimate, these are important things too, because they're a reflection of who you are. If you're in a relationship with someone who's insecure, are you insecure? If you're in a relationship with someone who feels empowered in their life, that is a reflection of who you are too, and that's how you continue to grow. Now, that doesn't mean that you guys aren't going to have fears and you're not going to have ups and downs in your relationships, again, whether it's business or whether it's family or what have you. What it means is your partner loves you enough or respects you enough in spirit to say, I'm going to reflect a part of you that you're feeling inside. When you heal that, I don't need to reflect that anymore, and we can move on to the next level of our relationship. And you're doing the same for them. So the company we keep is vitally important. This is why we talk about a lot, be careful the person you marry or the person you're binding yourself to in a relationship, because bindings are very powerful. When you marry someone, your energies are integrating. You're becoming one. And this is a really important thing that I cannot stress enough. If you have the wrong energetic partner, or an energetic partner who isn't willing to take the ride with you, this can actually hold you back on an energetic level. Your wings won't be able to spread as far. They'll be able to spread, just not as far. But what if you're already in a marriage with someone you love, you guys are completely opposite or what have you? This is about trying really hard to find your middle ground and their middle ground. And that can be really difficult, especially if you're so different. And sometimes if you're so similar, to be honest with you. The reality for me is when we talk about energy and who we surround ourselves, what we surround ourselves with, that energy also extends towards the people and the pets that we encounter and that we keep. I specifically have a snake because snake is my medicine. Now, it was a happenstance. I wasn't going out to find a snake. I was actually going out to find a frog. My son wanted a frog. But the Pet Expo had just occurred, and the store we had gone to just didn't have any. They were still at the trade shows. And so I decided I was going to get a snake instead. And it turned out that was one of my symbols. Spider is a very important one too. Now, I've left the link there for our guests. If anybody wants to be a guest today, you are more than welcome. I'm doing readings today. We can talk about energy. If you have any questions about energy, you're more than welcome to come on board with me. Just click that link and bring you right into the studio. Now, this is something I like to write about as well. And I write about energy work because I want people to open up to their highest potentials. Does that mean that I understand it fully? Absolutely not. I'm learning every day. I'm learning through my partner. I'm learning through my son. I'm learning through my work. But I love to write about it because I want people to be able to share that information, not only for themselves, but with others. So one of the things I talk about is, energetically dressing, right? Power suits are called power suits for a reason because of how they make us feel. Yes, for women, stilettos or flats that day. That's a difference between how I'm going to feel with this person or how I'm going to feel with that person or how I'm going to feel in this interview or how I'm going to present myself in that meeting. You give off an energetic vibe. Hi, Doug. How are you? Hi, Sylvia. How are you? So the other thing we have to realize as well is that when we choose the things that we wear, we're projecting a particular image. But image is energy. What story do you want to tell? When I was in theater a very long time ago, in another lifetime far away, one of the things that we were always taught is hair and shoes were the most important part of the accoutrement of any character. And why was that? Because the way we wear our hair actually gives us a sense of how we feel, and how we carry ourselves with our shoes is important too. When you wear, for women, you know this, a stiletto, it's going to make you walk a certain way. Guys, cowboy boots, army boots, anything that is on your feet is going to make you sit, walk, run a certain way. These are really, really important things to know. Happy Tuesday, Carmela. These are really important things to know because it also affects how you stand. It affects your gait. It affects how fast or slow you walk. It affects the energy that you exude. So I went to see Harry Potter. A live concert at it used to be the O'Keefe Theater, and it was the symphony. So I decided that night to do what I was taught to do and what I normally would do traditionally. I wore a gown, right? That's what you do to the symphony. So I got there and everybody was wearing jeans and toting a beer in their hand. And I'm sitting there going, are you serious? The symphony is not what it used to be. But I felt so elegant and I felt so beautiful that night. And I felt so amazing. And it was about how I felt at the symphony and what the symphony meant to me. And yeah, people were looking at me because, I looked like a character out of Harry Potter, and I was accused of that, by the way. Oh, what a beautiful gown. Are you trying to be Bellatrix Lestrange? No, but this thing was gorgeous. Like, it was like long and tall, maybe long and tall. It was very 1940s cut. Until at the intermission, I decided that I wanted to go upstairs, and I decided we were going to take the escalator. Here's about a shift in vibration. So we get on the escalator, and my train on my ball gown got stuck in the teeth of the escalator. And Carl was amazing. He stopped the escalator and he rescued me, and everybody was clapping, and he was a real hero, and we were laughing, and I didn't feel so elegant anymore. But it was really cool because while this was happening and the elevator was mulching my dress, I was trying to be Marlene Dietrich. I kid you not. I was actually trying to be, and for those of you who don't know who she is, she's this old movie star. You guys can Google her. She's so cool. And she was always very elegant and tough and independent. And so I'm standing there trying to be elegant. And it was just such an amazing moment. And we were laughing, and I had these big, long stilettos, which I don't normally wear. And it was just such a fun night. So what started off as awkward became elegant, became fun, became a point of absolute hilarity. And by the time we got home, it was just one of the most beautiful nights we'd ever had, because that was the energy that grew, that we created through the circumstances we had. We looked at our circumstances and we said, okay, this is how we want to evolve with it. And that's really important. What is your circumstance? How are you feeling in that moment, and honoring that? I felt silly. I felt like this was a ludicrous, ridiculous thing that could only possibly happen to me. And Carl, because it always happens when we're together. But these kinds of ludicrous things make me laugh. And that laughter exudes. I mean, people were clapping when he rescued me off the escalator. So the energy you carry with you into any situation is going to affect other people. How you carry yourself in your daily life is important, especially right now. And let's talk about that for a second. Right now, we have felt a lot of very heavy energies. However, since I'd probably say Saturday, something like that, I've been feeling it lift a little bit, and I'm feeling kind of a lightness that's starting to occur. It's a familiarity with a new norm that we've had created that we know is temporary. But how do you deal with those feelings that you have, those feelings of being at home or being stuck or what's next? There are so many things we can do with our daily energetic lifestyle. We can start to write. We can start to walk. All those things we said we were going to do that we didn't do. I know this sounds so simple and new agey, and it's like, well, of course, that's common sense. But it's actually about doing it. So for me, being creative means doing the show. Without you guys, I don't know what I would do. I'd be going absolutely nuts right now, because this is my form of expression. This is my way to give back during this time. This is my way of feeling energetically strong and empowered. I woke up this morning not feeling so great. Not feeling so great at all. But you know what? That's okay, because I had this to look forward to. I had you guys to look forward to. I had this information to share, which gave me something to think about, something to plan, something to make me feel really good about. And here I am now. I feel fine. I feel fantastic. Why? Because I'm here sharing with you guys. Oh, I love you guys. Look, you're all like sending me little loves. I love it. Again, if you want to be part of our show, please know that the link is in the comment section. You are more than welcome to click on that link, be a guest on our show. I will do a reading for you. Or if you have a question, please feel free to put it in the comment section. I will read you that way as well. It seems like today everybody just wants to hear what I have to say, and I'm so happy for that. The other thing that you want to think about in your home, hi Laurie, how are you? The other thing you want to think about in your home is the art. And it's not just your home. Where else do we have art? You guys tell me, where else do we carry art with us that we take it into our lives every day? I'm going to give you guys a second. I want you to text me, comment in the comment section. Where do we have art? Where do we carry it with us? There are so many answers to this, but there's one favorite one that I have. Anybody? Bueller. You guys remember that? I remember that. Our phones. Our phones are a daily piece of who we are. So what's really, really interesting is that when we put pictures on our phones, what we don't understand is we're actually creating energies that we take with us. So it's a really, really interesting thing, because when I was living on the farm, we used to have a farm. When I was living on the farm, I used to love Pinterest. I'd started with Pinterest. And I didn't have much fashion style. I wasn't really interested in that kind of stuff. It was a really, really interesting thing. I decided that I was going to pin fashions, just anything I thought was really cool, things that I liked. And I noticed this pair of boots that I really loved, and I put them on my phone. Within 4 weeks, those exact boots came to me. Now, here's the kicker. They were $400 pair of boots. Dude, I did not spend $400 on a pair of boots. However, I bought a $400 pair of boots for $75. Why? I went to Payless, no kidding, to buy sneakers for my son. Those boots were there. I wasn't going to buy them. I left. We came back. They didn't fit him, so we came back. I had to return them. I saw them. They were $200. And I went, nah, you know what, forget it. That week, my bag blew up. My knapsack blew up. So I had to go with something. There was one there that I really liked. So I went back to check out their knapsacks. Got there. Kid you not, $75. They were last pair, my size. This is a way to manifest for yourself. Pictures on your phone inform you. Native Aboriginals and Asians believe that when you see something, you take it in. When you see it enough, it becomes a part of who you are. And so when we look at things, whether it's on our phone or in our home, it's a really, really, really important thing. Hang on a second. So Marie says, and yeah, you know, she said you could have been pissed because your dress was damaged. Instead, you enjoyed yourself with your Prince Charming. Well, it's really funny. His last name is Princel, so it's Princel Charming. He is my Princel Charming. But yeah, that's it, right? And the thing is dresses can be fixed, right? Moments can't be replaced. And what do you do with that moment? And that doesn't mean every one of my moments have been amazing. I've had moments where I haven't. Like, I have a really hard time standing in the lineups right now. And we were at Loblaws, and I was like just whining and complaining about it. And it's just like, I don't know. This is like, I don't want to stand in line. We shouldn't have to stand in lines. Although I understand why we're doing it, and I completely accept that. I was having a day. And Carl's dancing in the aisles. He's dancing and making the best of it. Like, that was him, right? And I'm sitting there going, how can you? So it's a really interesting thing that whatever energy we put in, we get back. My day was, his day was awesome. Why? Because we chose that. But where I fall flat, he brings me up. Where he falls flat, I bring him up, or at least I like to think so. So there are many ways to look at a situation. It's how you, as my mother would say, it's not how you begin something, it's how you end. So it's not how you start your day, it's how you end your day. And that always helps. Let me see. Kelly, you would like a reading. Sure, if you want, Kelly, you can click on the link that's there, and you can come and be a guest with me. I don't have a problem with that at all. Or you can ask your question in the comment section. Yeah, phone wallpaper, Carmela. Absolutely. Phone wallpaper, really, really important, because that stuff can be really spectacular. Whether it's a horse, whether it's a koala, whether it's a tree, whether it's a pair of shoes, it doesn't matter. A vehicle, oh yeah, absolutely. Vehicles are, oh God, Rob, thank you for bringing that up. The color of our vehicle, what we put in our car, how we keep our car. We spend so much time in our vehicles. It's insane. Right? So I always love, and I see it, I swear to God, I like driving in my little yellow banana car. And yellow is manifestation. So that's one of the reasons I like yellow. And it also brings me up. And I have actually seen those little hula girl wobble thingies. And I love them. I actually have seen them. And it says so much about a person when you see what they dangle from their mirror, or what they have in their car, or how their car is kept. It just says a lot about who they are. Even the color of the car that they choose to buy is really, really important. Everybody looks at my car and goes, wow, that stands out. Yeah, you know what? So do I. I stand out. It's a reflection of the joy that I feel. And when I'm not feeling joyful, it gives me joy because that color is so bright. Now, having said that, there's always a practical aspect to what we do as well. I did physically buy a lighter colored card that is off like a white or a black or anything traditional, because when I'm in a parking lot, I tend to lose things. So with a yellow car, it saves me time because I tend not to lose my card. But I spend so much time in it. I absolutely adore it. Like I love being in my car. My car is like a second little home for me. So yeah, that is really, really, really important. That is vitally important. The kind of car that you have, the kind of bag that you wear. I have a knapsack. I don't carry a purse. The knapsack is because I like equilibrium on my shoulders. If you notice, a lot of people, especially women, can be very one-sided or lopsided because of the way they carry their bags, the way they carry their shopping, because they're predominantly right-handed or left-handed. That side tends to be a little on the off. So when I have my knapsack, that I can put it on both shoulders, and that keeps it nice and wide and back. That's important, especially when you're doing sports or you're doing that kind of thing. And that's part of your lifestyle too. That part of your lifestyle is really, really important. What kind of activities do you do during the day? What kind of activities keep you moving and your air going? Because the elements are a part of who you are. So if you run or you walk or you hike, these are really important things because that keeps your elements in balance. And that's really what we're talking about. We're talking about keeping your elements in balance, keeping you emotionally clean, keeping your channel so completely open for yourself that you're in rhythm, that your home is in rhythm, that the people you attract to you are the ones that are helping you move forward in your life. Well, what happens if you have something or someone that is not conducive to you? Happens. You know, your mom is your mom, your dad is your dad, your family members are your family members. You know, your cat gets sick. What happens when that happens? Well, in those moments, you sit back and you ask yourself in each moment, what is my truth? How do I feel about this? How do I navigate this? What can I learn? How can I be of service in this situation? And sometimes you will succeed and sometimes you will not. But the reality is there's always something to learn from whatever situation you are in. And those opportunities are huge and they're not rare. They're there every single day. Every single day, there is something to learn. When I'm on a run, I will open myself up and physically say, I ask and give permission to all those of the light who are runners who came before me, great spirit, all those of the elements, to come in and give me whatever information I need to help me run, to help me be safe on this run. And it's amazing what can happen. Sometimes I will sit, oh, greatest thing ever. We were in a line in Costco last week and it was windy. I mean, it was really windy. And it was so cool because I stood there and I just took in the wind. It was cold, but I just wanted to feel the wind. It's the one element I truly lack. Even though I'm a Gemini and I'm an air sign, it's the one I don't work with. So I decided to work with it. Wow, did it ever give me the stamina to get through that line? It was amazing, amazing. Lauren, Carmel says, any messages from my past sister, Jessie? All I hear is laughter. All I hear is laughter. And I see a little dog with her as well. There's a dog with her. I don't know if that's a dog that's coming to you or a dog that she's had though. But it feels like there's a dog there and she's waiting to give it to you. There's something about a dog. When you want a dog, ask for it. I want the dog now, and she's going to bring you a dog. But I feel like it may have been a dog you guys had earlier in your lives. So let me know how that turns out. Lori, any messages from a past mom or any spirit for us, please? I love the picture behind you. Oh, thank you. That's okay. So this picture behind me is of the Tree of Life and the bridge to the Tree of Life, the Akashic Records. And of course, because that's the work I do, it resonates with me. And, you know, I wasn't planning on using it for my show, but you know what? It's on my show because it totally makes sense. And this is who I am. I work in the Akasha. I am a bridge between our world and that world. And right now, I sit right in between. There you are, the audience viewing. There's the Akasha right behind me. There's the Tree of Life, and there's that gateway. And here I am, right in the middle of all of them. And that's who I am. This is me in my essence with you guys. It's so cool. So thank you, Lori, for saying that and pointing that out. This reminds me consistently of who I am. So one of the things that I did want to talk about today was living your daily energetic lifestyle and living it truthfully, living it every single day. I feel like we've accomplished that to the biggest point. However, we want to talk about the little things, the books we read. What kind of books are we aching or calling to? What kind of movies are we craving? Those things give us an idea of where we're at in our life at that moment. Last night, we were actually watching, Zombieland 2. We are in post-apocalyptic mode, but fun stuff like Shaun of the Dead, and what is it called? Zombieland 2. All of these different movies actually bring me up. They don't bring me down, and they get me in the mentality. If the zombie apocalypse should ever happen, I'm gonna be Emma Watson in Zombieland. It's really cool because what we attract to ourselves, we become. You know, it makes us feel good, or maybe a good cry in a movie or a chick flick. We have the time to fulfill ourselves with these little things right now, right? The books that we read are so important. Here's one of my favorite ones. Just happens to be sitting here, actually. It's called You Can Heal Your Body. This is a really cool little book. Everybody has something they can work on in their bodies, whether it's an ache or a pain in a certain part of who you are. It's one of my favorites. And what it is if you open it up, it's a chart. So it will show you what it is you need to work on. So let's say you have an ailment here. Let's just pick something. Let's see what this is right here. I think what that is. Hold on, right there. It's the skin. Protects our individuality, a sense organ. So it will tell you what it is on an esoteric scale. Okay, so here it is, skin. It'll give you the definition, the emotional core of what is going on, and then an affirmation. And if you say this affirmation for 6 to 8 weeks, a lot of people find that it will actually mitigate and really help whatever ailment you're going through. I love this thing. So this is the other thing that I like to do too with this, to be honest. It's called bibliomancy, and you can do this with any book, anywhere, anytime. So you just basically flip through it, you open it, you put your finger, boom. So what is it that I'm reading here? Not wanting to be a woman, dislike of the self. Very interesting, that one, because I am a Gemini, and sometimes I'm very conflicted in that. It's like, okay, you know what? I'm a tomboy. I won't be this pansy, dress-wearing chick. And then there are days I really do want to be feminine, and I really do love that. And the dislike of self, I think, yeah, that's a Gemini thing, in that we're always conflicted as to, who we are, what we're doing, are we doing the right thing, that kind of stuff. So you can do that with anything. So this is another book that I read when I was very, very young, which resonates me with on a totally different level now, being a mom and having a family. Irma Bombeck was a really, really cool, independent woman who was way beyond her time. And she writes in a very funny way about family. Anybody who wants to really understand family, this is the book to get. But that's not why I'm actually bringing this. Although this is a good one to have too, now that I think of it, because this talks about daily lifestyle. This talks about how life feels in a real life family, the ups, the downs, the kids biting you, and the lack of food, or sending somebody's lunch to school in a liquor bag, in a paper bag, which I've never done. But in this particular case, not only are we talking about energetic lifestyle, this is what she creates, is a beautiful picture of what life is in a family, the funnies and the sads. But again, you can do this. Right? Bibliomancy, you skim through, you open the book, close your eyes, boom, and you pick a word. If you were trying to start that power mole, Ducky, you had better attach a spark plug, open the gas line so you can get fuel to the distributor. So the word that I actually fell on, although that's the sentence, the word I fell on was trying. And that is something that I'm working on right now, is I try too hard. I do way too much for myself and others, and I gotta stop trying. I guess gotta flow with it more. So these kinds of things are really, really important. Little things like bibliomancy. The old ones used to take their Bible every Sunday. My grandfather used to do this, flip through the Bible, put their finger on a passage, and that passage would guide them through the week to the next Sunday. Okay, that's a really important thing. I remember my grandfather doing that, and I remember watching him one day, and he was doing that and put his finger on it, and all of a sudden, all I heard was, and I thought, oh my God, and he was laughing, and I was laughing because I don't think it was quite what we wanted to hear for the week. But I digress. The reality is that anything that can help you, like even oracle cards, can help you set that daily energy for yourself. This is one of my favorite cards. One of the cards I pulled the other day was koala. Listen more, speak less, and I have it upstairs on my dressing table to remind me and to remind Carl of that being very important. So I just picked up the cards and I cut them, and the first thing that I got was over here. There we go. Here, Black Panther. And Black Panther says, follow your passion. And this is what we've been talking about. We've actually been talking about following our passion, following our truth. Now, funny enough, Jaguar is actually one of my spirit animals. It's my power animal. And when I'm sharing, when I'm helping people really get to the nitty gritty of who they are, that's when I truly, truly feel empowered. And that's an important thing to know. So you can take a deck of cards like this and you can just pick a card. These are oracle cards, right? So oracle cards have sayings on them, and then that can guide you. Or you can do tarot if you prefer. Kelly, I love you so much. Oh, you told me I was going to have a grandson before I knew. He's adorable. You said you loved his personality before he was here. You're right on, Chicky Chick. Oh, thank you, Kelly. I really appreciate that. I love validations. I love watching people grow. That's one of the reasons I'm doing this. Yes, this is a time for everybody to be together in the same space, but I love to share, and I really jive on seeing people open up to their greatest potentials. Carmel says she still does that with her Bible. She writes the passage in her gratitude journal and writes about it for the week. It gives her some positivity. That's beautiful. That is absolutely stunning. She writes it down in her gratitude journal. I absolutely love that. One of the things that I do have is a gratitude journal. And I even have a kindness book. So a kindness book started when I went to Chapters and I found this little book of kind things to do on a daily basis. And so I used this book to begin with, just to kind of skim through it like I do with that. And whatever I picked that day was something I tried to achieve. But then I noticed something. I started noticing that I was finding like creative ways of doing the same thing, of little acts of kindness every day. And I started creating my own little book of kindness, and I still have it with me. And I thought it was kind of fun that I carry that in my little chest of books. I have lots of books in the treasure chest that I've written over the years. So these are really amazing ways to create an energetic lifestyle for yourself. From the second you wake up to the time that you have dinner, where you're choosing what to eat based on how you feel, and then going to sleep. At that point, we're tired. We've had a beautiful day. So what do you do with that? A lot of people have a hard time sleeping. They process the day, they think about it and do that kind of stuff. Allow yourself that moment. And then maybe you want to fall asleep doing your gratitudes. Now we have to think about this too. Now, Carl is he is the connoisseur of like mattresses and blankets and that. He loves that kind of lush stuff. In fact, it was so important to him what we slept on that we went to a place called My Essential, which is amazing, to buy a mattress, and we made several trips down there. We actually had what we call a mattress date, where we got to try the mattresses and check them out and that kind of thing and ask a lot of questions. And once we decide to buy it, this is not a small purchase, right? This is a very big purchase that not only are you going to have for the next like 20, 25 years, if not longer, but energetically, you spent 8 hours a night, ideally, in that bed, right? So Carl had a little bit of trouble with it. He decided to buy what's called a topper, so it gave him an extra inch of softness, which was really cool. That in itself creates its own energy. I like the bed a little bit more stiff. That helps me with the support of my hips and my shoulders and stuff like that. That helps me sleep better. These types of things that they may seem seemingly small are actually huge. Your pillow, the color of the sheets that you sleep in, your pajamas. You know, all of these different things are conducive to your energetic lifestyle. Some people like the feeling of silk. Some people have more of a cargo feeling. I love linen. That's a big thing for me, like a cargo kind of feeling. These types of things actually affect you. So I have two pillowcases and they have smiley faces on them. And they belong to, one of them belongs to my son because I want him to have to sleep on that, to have that kind of joy in his life. And one of them belongs to my snake because when he's inside the pillowcase, if I'm transporting him or traveling him, I want him to feel good. I know it sounds silly, but these are the little things that create your daily lifestyle that will keep you healthy. Also, what do you have before bedtime? When do you stop eating? Ideally, around 6, 7 o'clock is a good time to stop eating because your digestion now is slowing down, right? So, you know, having something maybe a little bit before bed, again, glass of water helps you to open up your system, helps you to connect those neurons in your brain that need to connect in order to have dreams clearly, to remember them. So there are little things that you can do there. Lisa says, I really enjoy listening to you and the advice you give. Well, thank you. Keisha Burnett, hi, Angel. I met you years ago. I remember you. And you gave me a message from my mom from her brother that had passed. I wanted to say thank you. It really helped to put her at peace. Thank you. I truly appreciate that. And I value you. And Keisha, I totally remember who you are. And I remember our reading. And, you know, sometimes I do. Like when I'm in the space reading someone, even who was 10 years before, as soon as somebody walks through the door, most times I will download that particular reading. And then there are ones that I just remember for whatever reason, something really stood out about that. These are ways to keep your intuitive abilities at their height. So in closing, the reality is that all of this daily energetic lifestyle is not just about us feeling good and us giving others. It's also about connecting to Great Spirit. It's also about connecting to your intuition and your own psychic abilities, which is really what this show is about. This show is about teaching us how intuitive we are and taking all of the elements that we have in our lives to strengthen that ability. Right? So just in having that daily lifestyle, that's a huge part in playing towards allowing us to have a healthy, intuitive lifestyle as well. And it really is simple. What do we sleep on? What do we do when we wake up? What are our routines? They say the healthy lifestyle of somebody who's greatly successful is somebody who gets up early in the morning and has a morning routine. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I used to have very early morning routines. Now mine are more midday routines. And I see the difference. Huge, huge, huge difference. The people you live with make a huge difference. The time of life you're in. Are you a younger person? Are you a middle-aged person? Are you an older person? Makes a difference. And these are all beautiful things to be utilized every moment of every day. And yes, you're going to have spectacular times with this. And yes, you're going to have sad times with this. Sometimes it's not going to work out. You're not going to have a day that flows beautifully as the day before. But there's a learning in that. And as we were talking before, what are you going to do with that moment? What are you going to do today, right now, for yourself, for your daily energetic health? That's what it's called. Our daily energetic healthy lifestyle. I love that. That's really cool. I'm coining that phrase. That's mine. Thank you, everyone, for being with me today. I absolutely love doing this show. I would have loved to have some guests on today, so I don't know what happened there, but that's all right. I'm totally cool with that because we got so much information in. Carmel says, just before I fall asleep, I ask the universe and God to remember my dreams. I find I get so much more info. And yes, absolutely. I do that too. Let me remember my dreams when I wake up. Okay. And if I don't want to have dreams, you know what? Just for tonight, no dreams. Just for tonight, no dreams. So I'm grateful to everybody today. Live a healthy, energetic lifestyle. Have fun. Enjoy the sunlight. Enjoy each other. Go have your coffee. Curl up with your kitten. And always, 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 always choose to journey with your curiosity. This is my show. My name is Angel Morgan. And if you want to know more about me, you can go to raisingenergy.com. Please feel free to share this particular episode and feel free to share our links and feel free to let people know that we're here every Tuesday, 1 o'clock. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great day.